So, welcome everybody. I'm Brooke Durham. I'm the president of the board of directors for IWRC. I'd like to call this meeting to order now. Welcome to our annual membership meeting, and thank you for being online here with me in the US and our staff, volunteers, members around the globe. We welcome those joining us from the First Nations lands and territories, including myself from what is now known as the Coachella Valley, the traditional indigenous homeland of the Coahuila people. Beginning in the mid 1800s, the Coahuila were forced off their ancestral lands in California. We recognize First Nations communities, elders, both past and present, and future generations. So we're excited to see everyone on the call. Please use the chat box to let us know where you are in the world, where you're joining us from. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let us know by using that chat tool as they come up, or you can hold on to them and ask during the question and answer period at the end of the meeting. Kai and I will be chairing this meeting together. So I want to introduce Kai Williams, our executive director, and hand it over to her for a couple minutes.
I've got too many things up, so there we go. I got myself unmuted. Good morning, everyone. Welcome today. I have on my notes here that I'll do a quick review of the platform, but I think at this point, everybody knows Zoom. But I would just say you are welcome to put yourself on video. You're welcome to come off to hand raise and then come off mute to ask questions. And then we just ask everybody be on mute when you're not talking. And I'm so glad to see you here today and this foggy Oregon morning. I will turn it back over to you, Brooke, and a couple of slides, I think.
All righty. Yeah. So just wanted to do a quick review of our vision and mission statements. Of course, our vision is we envision a world where conservation and wildlife welfare of wild animals is well served by an effective symbiotic relationship between wildlife rehabilitators and other wildlife professionals. And of course, our mission is to provide that evidence-based education and resource on wildlife rehabilitation and to move the field of wildlife rehabilitation forward to promote wildlife conservation and welfare and to mitigate human wildlife conflicts worldwide through a better understanding of wild animal ecology, behavior, and welfare. So, also the board of directors sets our strategy. And this we work with the staff to set our strategy. And this is our 5-year plan that we're into right now. And so our strategy is to raise awareness to the general public regarding wildlife rehabilitation and its surrounding issues, obtaining additional recognition of our IWRC programs, providing basic and further education for wildlife rehabilitators, and advancing the field of wildlife rehabilitation globally. All right. Do we have another slide? Or is that it?
You don't have a slide for your next part.
So, just a quick introduction to the board. We have 12 directors on the board of directors, and we meet virtually on a monthly basis to make decisions and discuss issues related to governance programs and a variety of topics. And these decisions are to allow IWRC to grow and develop and move forward for our membership, as well as support our staff. So, of course, I'm the president, Brooke Durham. I'm here in California. Meredith Whitney is our vice president. She is based out of Washington, D.C. Deneen Bertel is our secretary. She's in California and she apologizes for not being here today. She is deployed on an oil spill response, so we all know how that goes. Susie Sullivan is our treasurer in Washington. And then we have the rest of our board, Rob Adamski, Lloyd Brown, Sheena Dale, Andres Stange, Maddie Forrester, Elise Gunlock, and Diane Segui. Um, and so I think at this point we are ready to move on to our committee updates. So just a note that our volunteers play an important part in the success of IWRC's programs, and some of our key staff and volunteers are here to provide you with their most recent activities on our committees. I'll go over the development because our board of directors has decided to take that on as our main focus. And so we have a slide here, I believe. It's going to pop up. There we go. So we have an exciting announcement to make, which is we're happy to share that IWRC is participating in Giving Tuesday on December 2nd. On behalf of the board, we're proud to announce that the board will be matching donations for Giving Tuesday up to $5,000. So that's a really exciting thing that our board has decided to step up and do. And this is in honor of IWRC's 50th anniversary this year. So, of course, we ask you to consider making a gift this year. Your support will help bridge the gap between resources and wildlife rehabilitators. It'll help us advance the latest courses and, most importantly, keep our lights on as a nonprofit, which seems to be ever more challenging in this world. Um, and then the matching time will stop at December 31st, so you have until the end of the year. And you can find more information on how to make a gift through that QR code that's on your screen or by visiting our website at the IWRC.org. So I believe now I get to hand it off to Stephanie for a couple of minutes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Stephanie Herman. I'm the Membership and Content Coordinator for IWRC, and I'm going to put my membership hat on right now and talk to you a little bit about where our membership is at. So this is probably a pretty familiar looking slide if you were here last year because our membership numbers have not changed all that much. And the actual spread of, what types of memberships we have also haven't changed all that much. We're primarily serving individuals. So we do have some organizational memberships in there, some families, as well as some students. And that tiny little other sliver, we do have some lifetime members who are just super important to us, as well as some libraries who want to stock our journal. You can go ahead and go to the next slide. So we are coming to the end of our 2-year international member initiative, where we offered free memberships to folks from underserved regions of the planet. We did increase our number of international members, and we got about 281 new members through this initiative from 55 different countries. So we are looking at next steps as to what we can do to continue to serve folks who are from especially places in the world where the power of the currency isn't as strong, right? And so we're trying to find equitable ways to move forward to continue to allow people to participate regardless of where they're from and what their resources look like. We hope to have something to announce on that soon, but I don't have it today. We can go to the next slide. I just think this is a cool map to show where all of our members are located on the planet. And it's a pretty big spread. We always want to add more people in more countries, and hopefully we'll continue to do that as we tackle different initiatives moving forward. But we're really excited to have folks from so many different places in the world. And I think, yeah, we have a couple new resources that we've launched for our members. One is the Research Commons, which is a place where members can post and collaborate with researchers. So researchers might post they're looking for wildlife rehabbers who have access to different samples or who are willing to participate in different surveys or provide data sets and things like that, as well as it's a good place for wildlife rehabbers to post requests for skilled assistance from scientists and researchers who maybe they otherwise wouldn't have an opportunity to collaborate with to propose projects as well as to just look for specialized skills. So that's really exciting. That's a place on our bulletin board, which is where like job postings and animal placement ads go. But this is just another sort of section of that. So we're excited to share that. And then also we have a new resource for everybody, members as well as non-members, which is a place on our website where people can go to access all of the different infographics and handouts and things that IWRC produces over the years. Some of those things I am still digging up and adding, and some of those things are already up now. And we are in the process of making more of those, hopefully to help folks who maybe don't have their own graphic designer or time to sit down with someone to make some of these things, to be able to use them and share them and get good information out there. And one of the cool things that this does is we do offer co-branding to any of our organizational members so that they can put their logo and sometimes even their information, depending on which thing we're looking at, on there, as well as all the information and, have it look nice. I think, do I have one more? Yes, coffee and tea. So we do offer these free educational wildlife seminars every month called Coffee and Teas. This is pretty exciting for us this year because we've had some pretty cool topics and some good participation from our community. So far, we've done 10. We're going to do 12, so one every month, as you'd expect from a monthly thing. But our attendance has actually doubled for the first 10 months of this year and the first 10 months of last year. We've had twice as many attendees. So we're really excited about that. We hope to continue offering really interesting talks and opportunities to collaborate as a community. And one of the things that we're able to offer this year is we're now offering live attendees who are there for most of the talk certificates of attendance, which just helps with record keeping and like reporting that to like your permitting office might require some sort of documentation of your continuing education. So that's available for any of these educational topics, which they all are. So far, we've been able to do that. And I think that's all my section. Yes. Sorry. Yeah. And I'm handing
Yeah.
it off to, I think, Samantha, right?
I
Oh,
think
no.
to me,
Back to you, Kai.
yeah, back to me, which are 50th. Yes.
Thanks,
I have
guys.
thanks, Stephanie. So we're almost to the end of our 50th anniversary year. It started January 9th, as I recall. I always forget if it's the 9th or 10th that we got the paperwork from the government on our incorporation. But that is our official 50th day. We decided is the day we were incorporated. So we're getting close to that. But still a couple of months to celebrate our 50th anniversary, and a lot has changed in the last 50 years. But IWRC has definitely remained committed to wildlife welfare and conservation while expanding our membership, updating our programs, and doing our best to use technology to advance the field of wildlife rehabilitation, providing accessible knowledge and collaboration worldwide. It's fun every once in a while. I get a moment to dig into some of the old documents and things and just seeing where we've advanced our mission and how we've stayed true to it. So it's really exciting. And just as a little celebration for that, Stephanie put forward this video. Oops, it says sneak peek, but that's not what it is, but that's okay. We will see if this, I just realized the sound might not play. I didn't test it. So fingers crossed the sound plays. But in celebration of our 50 years, our journal started just a couple years after we started, but we have every issue of our journal, including the most recent that came out last week on our website, available for members. So here, and we'll have more on our journal later, but here's a nice video that just kind of shows you where we've come and where the field has come in the last 50 years just by looking at covers. All right. So that video, thank you, Stephanie. If you, I guess the sound didn't come through. So I do recommend if you have another minute, go look at it later on YouTube because it's really fun with the sound. She's got it pausing at these amazing dramatic moments, but just seeing those graphics of just it really shows you some of the change of wildlife rehabilitation and some of the big events, things that have happened, things like Mono Lake, I think that, quite a while ago. And it's like, that still happens quite a often that there's botulism outbreaks there. So it's very fun. So I am going to turn it over to Jalissa now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jalissa Favela. I am the Programs and Creative Director. And I just kind of wanted to go over kind of the course development component of IWRC. And let's see, right now, the online version of fluid therapy has been race approved and it is up and available for registration. That is like our newest launch for our online classes. Reuniting Raptors is another online class that is in the process of having the audio merged with the slide deck. And then when that is done, we'll get it ready for online registration. And then the next one is a RVS. It's a short online module that is also being ready to be recorded along with the much larger reptiles and amphibian online course. And nutrition book update that I'm deep in in the middle of right now. The book is about 95% done. The last chapter, which is chapter 5, is being copy edited. There's a total of 9 chapters. The rest of the book, I'm working on chapter 6, which is it's gone all over the place, and I know it's in the middle that I'm working on chapter 6, but everything else is done. Chapter 6 is my last the chapter I'm working on right now, and then chapter 5 will make it complete. And then it needs to be indexed and off to the printer. And I was talking to Joan McLeod this morning, not talking to, but emailing. She's doing some of the artwork for us. And she's like, what's going on? I was like, we're on a slow crock pot mode for the moment, but it's getting done. We're almost there. We're almost there. So hopefully we will have it available for purchase at some point this winter, this coming winter, but it's getting there. And I think that's kind of the big stuff in the mix. And I do want to thank all the amazing women that I work with every Monday, who are the course development committee. They are the people who make do the fine tuning and make it all presented to everyone in such a way that it is understandable, it is comprehensive, and this is the core of what IWRC does. So I wanted to thank them very much, and they are a fun group of women to work with. Is Dodie Wyman, Jean Chamberlain, Susan Heckley, Penny Elliston, and Paulina Lore. Oh my gosh, Paulina, I need to ask you how to, if I said your last name right. I don't even know. Anyway, that's what I have for right now. And I think, I don't know, is Meredith here or?
I don't think she may not have an internet connection. That happens occasionally where she's located. Yeah, Meredith's husband is a diplomat, and so she's currently in Russia. So sometimes her internet connection is not quite as stable at the US Embassy there. So, um, especially when big things are going on, they take all the power from from the people and put it all into the executives there. So speaking of executive, Meredith is our vice president and she is over our executive committee. The executive committee consists of the president, myself, Meredith, the secretary and the treasurer, and also Kai. We meet at least once a month to discuss ongoing and new issues, and we set the agenda for the board meetings. Um, this year, one of our biggest accomplishments was drafting the 5-year strategic plan that was presented earlier. Um, we had to present that to the rest of the board for revisions and ultimately unanimously approve. And of course, it wasn't just those 5 points. It's many, 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 many pages of documents that we have in that. So I'll cover today for Meredith, and I believe it's time to hand it to Kai for a slide, and then I'll be back.
Right. We're trying to shake things up a little bit. So I wanted to talk a little bit about our finances and our finance committee. So the finance committee meets quarterly. The voting members are board members, but we always have availabilities open for inquiries for advisory members who aren't on the board if they're interested in getting more involved and have some skills in finance background. So right now we are working on our 2026 budget, which is always fun. Actually, I do find it fun because I like playing with spreadsheets, and Brooke's just like, you are crazy. And Jalissa's thinking the same thing. But it is fun. Because it's also this chance to reflect on where we've been and how we're doing on things and what programs we're working on. So it's kind of exciting. It's very heavily linked actually to to the strategic plan that Brooke was just talking about. But I did want to take a moment to just talk about where our income is coming from right now and what we're working on, because this actually relates to our strategic plan as well and our priorities. But the majority of our funds right now, and this is true for, as far as I know, the history of IWRC, the majority of our funds come from programs. You can see the last 3 years, and the blue on there, that teal blue, is the program funds. So they do provide a majority of our funds, which is exciting. It lets us kind of move forward through thick and thin, but it's got some challenges in terms of what Stephanie was saying before, what Julissa was saying in terms of both accessibility and equity, and also just getting things out to you faster. You know, we wait getting things like our books and everything out. So the more we're really working to change that balance of funding, so we're getting more funding from grants, from fundraisers, from people who are not in the wildlife rehabilitation world. So we applied for 8 grants this year. Haven't gotten any yet, but we still have a few open. And we are planning to apply for at least 10 grants in 2026. We're also creating micro fundraisers and community fundraisers this coming year. So you'll be seeing more just like little fundraisers to support very specific things. And we're really importantly, I think, we're expanding our visibility and our communication to search for donors who are not wildlife rehabilitators. So one of our strategic priorities is expanding our funding base through a greater focus on donation-based support, which is going to allow us to meet the education needs of the global wildlife rehabilitation community. So it's a little bit of where we are and where we're moving to go. And, um, just to cap up all the committees and the volunteers, and there's so many volunteers we have that are also not on committees that are doing work, helping us with design, helping us with content creation, so many different things. We have 60 volunteers at the moment, and I just want to thank each and every one of them for their dedication and their hard work for the IWRC. Do not hesitate to reach out to me, to any of the people you've heard talking here at any time, and I will turn it back over to Brooke.
All right. I'm hoping that my parrots don't get really excited occasionally they get really, really excited about Kai's voice and try to chime in on meetings. Um, so I want to talk a few minutes about our board composition. And we want to take a moment to thank Deanne Seguin, who's going to be moving on from the board at the end of this year, having served several terms. I and the rest of the board would like to thank her for her hard work over the years. And the next item is to introduce you members to the member slate for the upcoming board election. So please look for an email around November 23rd asking you to elect new board members. We're very excited about our incoming board members this year in our member slate. So voting will close on that on December 8th. And we had a number of individuals that inquired about the process. And of course, we want to thank everyone for reaching out and even considering being on the board of directors. We look forward to remaining in contact for future nominations too. And we always invite members to think about that and see if you're welcome to ask us if we have a place that maybe fits your needs and our needs. It's fun. It's a lot of work, but it's sometimes pretty fun. And it's definitely rewarding when you see like that video of the journal and things like that. So we always encourage you. We have vacant positions rolling at the end of 2025. We're going to have several, and we're going to have more at the end of 2026. So this year, the member slate, we have two new candidates that have been put forward for election, Joe Cashmore and Karen Rowe. I think you guys are going to find them quite appealing, and we're excited about them. In addition to our member elected positions, our board has actually voted for several board elected members in our October meeting. And so, again, watch your emails for that nomination voting process and the introductions to your new board members. I believe it's time to hand it off to Samantha.
Sure, that sounds good. Whenever the slide's ready. All right, so I'm Samantha, the Education Operations Coordinator here. And so we're just going to review what's been going on this past year, but also we can see how our numbers were looking and how many people we were serving the past few years. So throughout our spring 2025 season, we held 9 basic wildlife rehabilitation classes, including 4 online that were serving students registered in 4 countries and 5 in-person classes in 3 countries. We're just not seeing Trinidad and Tobago here because it'd be teeny tiny on the map. So in total, as well as 1 fluid therapy class and 2 pain and wound management classes. So in total, there were 263 students served that season. And then when we came into the summer, we officially changed the name of Basic Wildlife Rehabilitation to Foundations of Wildlife Rehabilitation to better reflect the purpose and substance of the content. So nothing has changed, just the name. And right now we are wrapping up our fall season. And as of today, we've completed 10 foundations classes. Four, again, are online, always have four in the spring and fall, that we're serving students in registered in 5 countries, and then 6 in-person classes in 2 countries, plus 1 pain and wound management class that we just wrapped up yesterday. And there's still just 1 online foundations class to go. It's in the Pacific time zone next week. So we will have served 267 students this season. So altogether, we've had a bit of an increase here from last year. So we're at 530 total, which is really nice to see that we've been branching out, and we can see on this little map here where we've been touching on. So the light gray are places that we would have gone 1 time in person, and the darker gray is, 2 or 3 times, maybe even 4 between all the seasons here. So just to get a gauge of where we're going this year. And our host contact form that was introduced in late spring 2023 has had an additional 33 inquiries since our last membership meeting, so last year, and we're hoping to have some more come in, and so that way we can build up, our spring season coming in here, which we still have space for people. So if anybody's interested, we'll drop that link into the chat, and then, but if you were interested in next fall, that's completely fine, or even next spring. All right, actually, I will drop that now, just so I don't lose it. And then we can jump to the next slide. All right, so recently joining our asynchronous online course roster of zoonoses, wound management, and parasitology is fluid therapy, as Julissa touched on before. Just to give a little bit more information about this course, it provides students with a working knowledge of the vocabulary and concepts for the modern approach to fluid therapy in mammals, birds, and reptiles. So students will learn the physiology of dehydration, how it affects organs, and how to recognize the clinical signs of dehydration and how to carry out a fluid therapy plan. So we've had quite a few people already interested in joining us, and if you want to be one of those, we can also drop that into the chat here, as well as the general link. I know some people have some trouble finding where to sign up, so happy to put that in there so you have an easier time. All right, so whoever is next, take the wheel.
All right, just a moment here. All right, I am going to step in for Sammy, who recorded something for us because she is at work today at her wildlife center. The CWR team is entirely volunteer, so I just want to call that out and shout out the amazing work that they do.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sammy Netherton. I'm the CWR director. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you guys live today, but I wanted to pop in and give you guys some updates on CWR. So, Certified Wildlife Rehabilitator is now active in 14 countries across 4 different continents. And we have about 290 current CWRs, with having some continuously kept up their status for about 18 years now. They do so by submitting continuing education every 2 years. So the CWR volunteer team is working really hard to support and connect CWRs throughout the world. At the beginning of this year, we actually split CWR into 2 different levels. So we now have Certified Wildlife Rehabilitator and then Associate Wildlife Rehabilitator. So the splitting of these levels allows to distinguish rehabilitators with significant experience from those that are newer to the field, while AWR allows for credibility to those that meet the education requirement, while now CWR has a licensing requirement along with an experience requirement, which is beyond just passing the exam alone. AWRs and CWRs still need to both pass the CWR exam. We have about 3 AWRs at this time, active across 3 countries and 2 continents. And active CWRs prior to 2025 are still active. They have 6 years to fulfill the new requirements, and you guys will remain active given that you continue to submit your continuing education every 2 years. Continuing education hasn't changed at all. We're still doing 16 hours of continuing education across the 2 years of your certification time period. And exciting news, for those that are transitioning, once you've completed those requirements, you're welcome to fill out the transitioning application on our webpage. We have exciting news. We have our first transition to CWR as of the last couple of months, Marjan Gadradun, our past director. So really excited to see that we're starting to see some transitions. We also have a few people who have applied for the CWR program that were not current prior to 2025, which is exciting because they're the first ones to come into this new program all the way. If you are a CWR and you want to get more involved, there's opportunities coming up this winter. Please contact me at cwrdirector@theiwrc.org, and you can CC Kai director at theiwrc.org. We are planning to expand the program over the next few months to increase accessibility for the wildlife rehabilitators worldwide. So stay tuned, guys, for upcoming updates to the program. We hope to be in contact with you all soon. Thank you, guys.
So I will turn it back over to Jalissa.
Hello again. I'm just going to briefly touch on the Journal of Wildlife Rehabilitation. As members, you all have access to the journal. And in case you didn't know, you can easily access it if you log on to the IWRC website through the member portal. There is on the dashboard, there is an icon that you can just click on, and it'll take you to the journal area. And the latest version, the most current issue is always up at the top for you to look at. You can always download a PDF. But the big news that we're doing right now is that we are looking for moving to a new platform. So right now the platform is basically through our website, and we're looking to go to a completely different journal-based website. So it'd be completely online. It's kind of like how PLOS One or any of those kind of big journals, how they present their monthly or all of their journals. So any archives, it will all be stored there. It should be a lot easier to navigate. So anyway, we're looking to roll that out. I hope maybe next year, but I just wanted to let everyone know that that is in the works. And it should be just a lot simpler, and you can always still download PDFs too. No matter what, you will be able to do that, but it will be a lot cleaner online reading for everyone. And that is my journal wrap up. Oh, our work. I forgot about work.
Yeah.
We
Hold on,
have
I'll get the.
we have a video. So this is a reminder. So work is an acronym for Wildlife Rehabilitation Knowledge Exchange, which is hosted by VIN, the Veterinary Information Network. And this is in collaboration with NWRA, Partners for Wildlife, and the Raptor Center of Minnesota, and the Minnesota Wildlife Care Network.
And pause.
And pause. I forgot. And pause. So anyway, it's free to join. It's just for wildlife rehabilitators and wildlife veterinarians, any support staff, anyone in the wildlife field. You have to fill out a Google form in order to get access to VIN, to this part of VIN, but it's totally free, and it's very confusing. So this is like a little video of all the things that are on there. You go in there and you post your questions if anyone has any questions about it, about a case. you can go on there and post your question, and then other people can reply to it. So the more people that get on there, the more collaborative it can actually be. So we're just wanted to remind people that this was available to everyone. You just have to sign up for it. And for those people who have signed up for it and haven't logged on yet, it's a reminder to log on and just take a look and poke around, ask questions. It's all there. So anyway.
And I lost, let's see, I think I stopped screen sharing now. I lost my sheet that tells me all the things while I was looking for the links for work.
Stephanie's next. If
All
Stephanie
right.
wants to hop on. There's a slide for her too.
And I might grab that bit for Stephanie, depending. So I will, oh, there's Stephanie. Let's see. Hold on, get the slides back. I think I need 5 screens, not 2 sometimes.
All right, everybody. So we are, sorry, I thought my cat might have muted my mic, but I'm here. Yeah, so we're really excited. We have a scholarship every year in honor of Dr. Helene Van Donnet, who was a very inspirational leader in the wildlife rehab world, especially in regards to creative solutions for education. She's particularly passionate about lead ammunition and would go and ran an exchange program for lead bullets to try to help hunters transition off of them, as well as just being just a very passionate person who spoke, on behalf of wildlife. And so in her honor, we have this scholarship. And this year we have 2 recipients. Rizwana Arifin is in Bangladesh and is planning to use the funds that we awarded them for mobile multilingual snake coexistence educational materials, particularly for the communities that they are surrounded with. There are some rural communities and also some working communities that just there are venomous snakes in the area, so there can be a lot of fear around that, and also a lot of risk that people, then become violent towards the snakes. And so, Rezawana's work to protect those snakes and to help keep people safe is really important for their region. And then Sadiq Sarajo in Nigeria is also been awarded some funds to make a traveling interactive educational display in several different local languages, as well as in some they're trying to bring in some different types of educational communication tools so that it isn't all like reading. There's a lot more that they can use just to help their local community to live in more harmony with wildlife. So we're very excited about both of these recipients, and I hope to bring a report back to you next year with maybe even some pictures. We are also going to be posting some of the stuff on social media, so you can watch us there. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, any of those places, Blue Sky as well. If you want updates, as we have them, we'll be giving them out there. And then I think next slide's me too. Yeah. So we have a fundraiser coming up, but also a chance to get outside and stretch your legs and reconnect with nature, especially after a season spent inside feeding little animals, that constantly need your attention. It's good to take some time for yourself to get outside, to see animals that are healthy in their natural environment. And that's what Walk for Wildlife is all about. So it is a fundraiser. It's a virtual 5K. We call it a 5K, but you can really pick your own route, your own destination, as well as your own sort of fundraising goals and things like that. So this is just a really flexible opportunity to support wildlife rehabbers around the globe, support IWRC, and also do something for yourself and take a moment for yourself. So this is a full week from November 17th to 23rd, where you just make your own plans and you get out there and spend some time in nature. So we'd love for you, if you do participate, there is a registration link, which is in the chat. And then there's also a hashtag to use so that you can share your pictures from your time outside and everybody can live vicariously through you to see your beautiful area wherever you go. And I think I hand it back to somebody else.
I believe it's me this time.
Excellent. Take it away.
All right. Well, guys, I think we've gone over everything. And so this is a great time. If you've been holding any questions for us, for the staff or the board, now's a great time to ask them.